On the political spotlight right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I'm excited to be here with you, and I do hope that you're happy. Hey, and to our fellow Muslim brothers and sisters, happy Eid Mubarak. Yes, I know how satisfying it is for life to just resume as normal, but the aspect of fasting and committing and exercising a quiet time with God is not necessarily for anything else but to get closer to Allah, to ensure that you're able to give Him the kind of concentration required considering what is currently going on in our world, in the country, and having to take that time and give yourself that kind of space is essential to our spirituality. So happy Eid Mubarak. My name is Esther Umwachiku, and obviously I would implore you to actually go onto YouTube right about now. We're currently streaming live. Is at VOP 903 FM. On the political spotlight, we look at issues across Nigeria's social, economic, and political landscape. And obviously, I must tell you the truth that our political scenery, our political structure is important for us to focus on, because whatever policies are made at the helm of affairs and we're not cognizant with it, it would really affect us, whether we like it or not. So, another thing we'll be looking into today is governance at the grassroots level. Let me tell you something. Most times we hear Nigerians complain all the time about how things are bad, how terrible things are, and the first person's name they call is the president. But the thing is, because the activity or the impact of the local government administration is hardly felt in some local governments across the country. Very few states are actually feeling the impact of local government governance. And these are some of the things we'll be looking into today, because I have somebody very interesting, special, who will be joining us later on the political spotlight to tell us precisely why there is that lack of trust, why that bridge is not there, why that vacuum has been created between the people and the local government administration, where people are resorting to help themselves, personally. And you forget sometimes that there are persons who are meant to take care of the people's immediate needs at the grassroots level. Those are the ones that you need to ensure that governance, they feel the impact of governance. All right. Once again, my name is Esther Mwachuku, and one of the issues we want to look into today is security in the country. For example, I'm sure a couple of us know what transpired in Uromi, Edo State, and it's quite an unfortunate incident. I must tell you, it's terrible. It's a terrible incident. Nobody should go through that kind of injustice. Nobody should end that way. But you see, the security situation in this country has become politicized. For example, let me give you an instance. The Edo State governor, right, had to order the immediate suspension of all illegal vigilante groups operating under whatever guise in the state, and the suspension of the state's commander of the Edo, whose name is CP Friday Ibadi. The suspensions followed a review of the preliminary report of the unfortunate incident that occurred on Thursday, the 27th of March, at Uromi in Eson Northeast local government area of Edo State, involving the gruesome killing of some northern travelers. All right. Now, let me explain to you. There were 27 persons in a bus. They say they are hunters. Now, let me not call it a bus, like a truck. This open truck. You know how these northerners like to travel. There were 27 of them in that truck. They called themselves local hunters. They were stopped by some local vigilantes and they were asking them questions. According to what one of the survivors said, he said they asked the driver to step down, but that the driver initially refused. Later, he stepped down. They asked them what they were doing. They said they are coming from rivers, that they are hunters, and that all these states that they've passed, none of the vigilantes stopped them. They allowed them passage to continue their journey, and that way they were going to Kano for, the Salah holiday. So they asked them, according to what, one of the survivors said, he said that they checked the truck and they saw some dang guns and I think a couple of food items, coconuts, granules, and all of that. And they asked them, why do they have those guns? They say they hunt with them and the guns are licensed. According to this survivor, the licensed gun, they were able to present their document, but that they were not listening. They started calling them kidnappers and they were trying to explain they were beating them. Do you know how bad things have gotten that people resorted to that kind of mob injustice and self-help? So let me give you the political scenario to all this. For example, several local governments across the state have been complaining about Fulani herdsmen invasion in their farms. It's so wicked that these Fulani invaders not just trample the crops, they uproot the crops, all right? They uproot it from the roots. and literally destroy the crops of that particular community. Now, when you see them, you cannot accost them because they attack immediately. When they attack, they don't care. Your body is on the farm and then they go. Now, the local government, the local community members begin to raise alarm. They tell the state government, tell the local government that, see, this is what is going on. What are you doing about it? Absolute silence. Sometimes a stage protest, nothing happens. It has been going on consistently for as long as you can remember. Now, this is the unfortunate scenario. When people who literally live by what they are able to harvest from their farmland, that is from their farmland or their farming space, and that particular space, which is their source of living, is being mutilated and destroyed for no reason by certain external elements, and then the state government is not providing the accurate security or expediting action in ensuring that that kind of melee does not continue. Now, why this whole thing seems politicized is the fact that when this situation happened in Iromi, Edo State, the alacrity, the immediate response from the state government and from the federal government is what is overwhelming everyone. If I begin to give you a breakdown of several scenarios where, for example, in Jos, Bokos, Mangu, last year, 2 years ago, where a community, 200 persons were wiped out by these invaders, one culprit was not found. One of these culprits was not apprehended. No prosecution whatsoever occurred. It has been happening consistently. The latest one in Enugu State, the women themselves had to stage a protest and look for those who are providing intelligence to the Fulani terrorists that were coming to invade their farmland. The security of the state stopped them from processing with their protest. This is basically what it is. Now, the state governor has eventually waded into this matter. Now, Nigerians are now asking a question that do we have selective reactivism from the federal government when it comes to issues of insecurity? We've not seen you immediately with such an alacrity respond to issues of headers invasion, headers killing, headers taking over the farmlands of originals, taking over their space. But you can see immediately how you reacted, possibly because of the fear of reprisal attacks. Nobody is condoning or nobody is what people are sympathizing with what happened, right? But it's the response from the government that is what a lot of persons are looking at. So the question now is it about the geographical location of certain persons that would warrant the immediate reaction from the federal government? Because when you have people complain consistently about a certain melee affecting their livelihood, affecting the peace of their community, and these people should be properly organized. Now, in the terms of local security, right, which obviously we know that we have like the Amotekun, we have Ebubagun, we have Operation Udogachi. These ones are recognized by the state government. But sometimes these guys are not enough to take care of all the security needs in several communities or several wards within a particular local government. So what the indigenes of that particular community do is to contribute money to some local hunters who will become vigilantes for them. Some of these persons are not registered with the state government local vigilante, or like you have the NYC and NSCDC core. They are not registered. Even in Lagos here, we have some estates where we have security that was supposedly subscribed or employed by the estate's residents. They contribute money every month for their payment. Some of them are not really subscribed to a particular recognized security outfit. This is basically the situation that occurs most of the time. So the big question is this: at what point in time will the federal government address this issue of insecurity? At what time will they decide to be meticulous and transparent without any political bias in addressing the issue of insecurity? Because whether we like it or not, if there is any form of reprisal attack, it's going to affect everybody. And there are some elements that are taking advantage of what happened and giving the government ultimatum that if they don't, this is what they're going to do. Some persons are even calling some certain groups or ethnic groups by saying that it is the ethnic groups in that community that caused it. And so asking some persons who are not originals in a particular state to go back to their home state. What does that mean? Why would people want to create scenarios where there will be anarchy, breakdown of law and order in this country where everyone is free to move? But even if you're free to move, you need to abide by the rules of engagement of the state that you're moving to. In fact, in Uromi local government, somebody complained that they have been experiencing what you call, in fact, there is an existential crisis in their state, in Benue State, in Edo State as well, in most of their farmlands. They've been experiencing this menace in their farmlands. So they go meet some of these, will I say, Fulani community leaders that dwell or settle in their communities and say, see what is going on. And the response is that, well, the complaint is that you guys are treating their cows anyhow. So whatever reprisal you're getting, don't treat their cows anyhow. If their cows come to your farmland, give them access to graze. Then you will not have this problem. Why? Why can't we have a proper ranching system to avoid all of this encroachment? It's not making sense to anybody at all. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually spoken, and he actually said that he almost quit the 2023 presidential race. This is what he said. While he was expressing deep appreciation to Nigerians for the outpouring of goodwill and prayers as he marked his 73rd birthday, and the special iftar, which was held in honor at the presidential villa on Saturday night, the president thanked guests for their presence, prayers, and contributions to the nation's development. Acknowledging the challenges he faced on his path to the presidency, President Tinubu reaffirmed his commitment to advancing Nigeria's progress. Now, the gathering included a couple of top echelons at the political sphere. First Lady was there, Vice President was there, the wife as well, members of the Federal Executive Council, principal officers of the National Assembly, current and former governors, diplomats, business leaders, religious leaders, and some of the president's childhood friends were also there. Now, according to what the president said while he was reflecting on his political journey, he recounted a moment of doubt during the 2023 election campaign when he contemplated withdrawing from the race after an encounter with a close relative. The president said, "Those close to me know that the odds were against me. During the campaigns, one of them came to my living room around 3 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. and said he needed just 50,000 naira to buy foodstuff for their uncle. He told him that the currency is gone because of you." Remember, that was when we're going through the Naira redesign policy and the Naira crunch, and that people were jumping over bank counters because there is no cash, meaning that whatever transpired that period was deliberate so that the president would not easily campaign. So he said he gave the man the money and the man told him that you would not make it. And he told the man that he would make it. He replied that he was going to make it and that he made it. That it was this kind of stories and conversations around him that made him afraid to actually feel that there was no possibility of him winning the 2023 elections. And now he has won it. Meanwhile, something very interesting also happened. The president disclosed the reason why there was a possibility of sacking Nyesom Wike. I was also surprised by that because I wondered exactly why that threat will be there. So this is basically what he said. He said that for Nyesom Wike, at one point in time, as a Federal Capital Territory, he actually said that while Nyesom Wike came to pay homage at his home, the president disclosed that Wike asked the FCT to be removed from the Treasury single account. That was a special request that Wike asked for. He disclosed that he told Wike that if the outcome of the request works more in favor of the People's Democratic Party than the All Progressives Congress and threatens his chances of winning elections, then Wike should be ready to lose his job. So he said, Wike came up with a lot of good ideas. I remember the day Nyesom Wike came to me and said, please take us out of this problem of TSA so I can do more work and achieve more. And I said, show me what you're about to do. And he presented himself. And I threw in my own political jibe by saying, will that give any opportunity for my party to win election in FCT? I say, I know where you're coming from, your own party or my own party. But if this thing goes too much in your favor, you will lose your job. The president has literally declared. Okay, I'm going to leave that for my analyst to respond to. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually have Bamidele right here, right? And I also have Mr. Lawal Ekundayo. Bamidele, I'm so excited that you're here. It's been quite a long time.
Yeah, it's been so long, in fact.
Yes, it's been so long. And I'm Mr. Lawal Ekundayo. Good evening. How are you?
I'm better.
You're better. Yeah. You're always better. Thank you for coming. I'm going to start with you, Okwe. Oh, sorry, Mr. Bamidele. So here is the thing, right? Bamidele Damilari. So the president said that Wike came to meet him for a special favor. And the question he asked Wike was, this thing you want to do, will it favor me during the campaign season in the FCT? I don't know if you understand what is going on here. He asked that this ideas you're bringing is good, though, but will it favor my own political party or your own political party? Because if it is going to favor your own political party, you will lose your job. The president was saying it playfully, but we know President Bola Tinubu does not play like that. And from this statement, he has told us that obviously he's recampaigning in 2027, isn't it?
Definitely.
So it has obviously been clarified that he did not win the FCT. A couple of persons been attributed to be that that's basically the next move for, what's going on in Rivers. How do you react to this?
Well, it's funny somehow because
It's funny.
in a way, because I expect that whatever it is the minister is doing,
Okay.
the government is doing, should be for the betterment of the people.
Which of the minister? Referring to Wike?
Yes.
Okay.
In this context,
So whatever he's doing right
should
now.
be in the interest of the people living in the FCT,
Okay.
because right
And
now,
not about
it should
his
not-
party.
It is not. It should not be about a political party.
Wow.
It should be about the people. However, politicians will be politicians. Let us get that out of the way. And a politician is always thinking about the next 4 years. Well, security of the political office. How do they get back into office? But I think this is also one of the issues we are having in the country. Loyalty to parties other than loyalty to the people. The sovereign should understand that they are not there to serve their political parties. They are not there to serve their own selfish political interests, but they are there to serve. And this attitude and service mentality is what is lacking in our politicians. They don't see themselves as servants of the people, but as masters of the people. And this has to change. We cannot continue to go on like this. Because and something strikes me when the president says that, who would this benefit? Your own political party
Or my own political
so
party.
what exactly is the motive behind the move? The motive behind the plan? So does that mean that the plan would only benefit a certain section of the FCT? Because
No, what he's saying is that the ideas that the FCT minister
No, the
brought
ideas
were
are
were
good.
very good.
But-
that if he said that he told Wike that if the outcome of the request works more in favor of the People's Democratic Party than the All Progressives, since his chances of winning elections, then Wike should be ready to lose his job.
exactly what I'm
Omo.
saying. If the minister of the FCT comes up with a good idea, implements it and there, and everybody is happy, would you think it will benefit the PDP or the APC? It will definitely benefit the APC because as a minister, you are serving under an APC president. So, get what I'm trying to say. Will this idea actually benefit all the inhabitants of the FCT? If even the commander-in-chief is saying, would this benefit A or B?
I think this clarifies that basically all appointments are politically motivated, politically of political interest,
Definitely.
and not about the capacity of the person to render that job. Mr. Lawa Ekundayo, let me come to you. The president he's jovial. They call him city boy for a reason. President is playful, right? And he's a very playful person. He doesn't hide his intention about certain
No,
things.
that means it's playful.
No, he's playful. I've spoken to a couple of persons who are,
You have been
close to the
spoken to
president.
me, or you have spoken to people on the street.
No, I mean playful in terms of how he relates when he's with
jovial.
he's
He's
a jovial person. He has
Okay.
that
To
welcoming
you.
ambience.
To you.
No, wait now. Let's talk. Let's talk now. Let's
You
talk.
just
The
say some
president
people
literally
believe.
used a jibe, right? It's a jibe, but he has told us now that 2027 he's recampaigning. And that whatever it is the FCT minister is doing the FCT, it should be in his favor. Meaning that Wike should deliver the FCT to him come 2027. That's basically this particular statement he just made. Whatever good idea you have, it must benefit my party ahead of 2027. Which also means that the 2023 general elections, that was the job of Wike to deliver Rivers for the APC. So the question now is this. When it comes to party interest, obviously, and appointments, it has to do with the party first, right? Wike says that he's a PDP member, but he is APC PDP. So any decision he's making right now, first requirement will be to the satisfaction of this current administration, and the second priority will be to his party.
To himself.
Now, literally, you saw what transpired in the 2023 general elections, how he balkanized the PDP. And he has made a statement that in 2027, right, he would do all he can. If at all Atiku Abubakar decides to recampaign, he's going to bastardize it. He's going to ensure that it doesn't work. Whatever it is he needs to do, he would make sure it doesn't work. So he is a willing tool. And the president is, obviously in that regard in line with him. For him, so long as it serves his party interest well, then fine. But he's asking the question that if these ideas makes better the activities within the FCT, why shouldn't that be the priority? Why should it be about prioritizing the party first?
Now, the reason is because in Nigeria, the way we do politics, you get is upside down.
Okay.
Our own politics has no definition. But what we do here, in terms of governance, cannot be defined in any dictionary. Whether we are doing democracy, it has no definition. So if it has no definition in Nigeria, it has nothing to do with the normal definition of democracy. Then are we doing democracy? No. When we are doing politics and it has nothing to do with the normal definition of politics, are we doing politics?
Then how are you
I don't understand what we are doing. We need expertise. we need us to really look at what we are doing and be able to define it and add it to the dictionary.
How can you say
I don't understand
that we don't know what
when we talk about politics is about majority.
Okay.
But in Nigeria, politics is about rigging. So when people do politics, you say you do politics and you rig. You are not doing politics.
And you said all the politics that takes place is always rigged.
That's what is that. Why do we make all this complaint? Why? We saw obviously what has been done when it comes to our election. We saw what the Supreme Court did. We saw what INEC did. We saw what the tribunal did. It's so obvious to everybody. And we say we are doing politics. That is not politics. Politics is about winning the heart of the majority. In Nigeria, politics is about rigging election. So you are now saying you do politics. Is that definition of politics?
You can't generalize in that context.
Then tell me which one.
Other polling units are other political parties won.
Where we see area, we see people carrying ballot boxes and nobody has been prosecuted. Where ordinary people go on street to protest, you charge them for treason. And people who carry ballot boxes all over the place, see people sharing money, and videos are all over the place, and no arrest has been done. And you say you are doing politics. Is that politics?
But Mahmoud Yakub told us that most of the persons that were caught on camera that were, inducing people with cash and that did a couple of ballot snatching, including the security officials and the INEC staff that were involved, that they had begun prosecution. That's what he said.
Okay, but
yes.
we didn't see them appear in court. We only saw those who went for the bad governance protest being prosecuted. That one is obvious all over the world, in which we saw underage children, young ones, being prosecuted. We saw some are still facing prosecution up to now.
No. The government has cleared them of all those.
Okay, government has cleared
them of all those.
Okay.
All began to see the adults that were part of them.
Okay.
So the government has actually said.
What I'm just trying to say is that now, with what we see everywhere, go on the street and ask ordinary Nigerian. You get it? They have no faith in INEC, and then we say we are doing. Politics, we are doing democracy. That is not, because when it comes to democracy, the paramount thing in democracy is election. The moment you get it wrong in the election, you are going to get the government wrong.
Well, when the president actually told him that he hopes that will favor his party,
I'm coming to that.
He said we're going to settle this.
See, that is why I said that. See, when you are doing a normal politics. The moment the majority, your government favors the majority, they will vote for you. Yes. It's so simple. You don't need to talk about whether it's my party, is going to favor my party. Is it going to favor the majority of the people? The moment you favor the majority, that majority will vote for you. And election in democracy is about majority. So when you are saying now it doesn't favor my party, then you are talking otherwise. Something you are saying is different from the normal definition of politics, because election rigging is not part of politics. Inducement is not part of politics. Is it the definition of politics? I did science. I also read about policies. I'm a politician, but I've not come across. I need to be corrected. Whether it's part of the definition, what we teach students at school in terms of politics and democracy. Whether part of this is part of it. Where we see inducement, we see touts with guns going to polling people to threaten people. We see some people telling some people to leave some areas because they don't want them to vote. Now that is what we are hearing now. That is it going to favor my party or is going to favor your party? Where is the people that the democracy defined? He said government of the people, by the people, for the people. Totally is not part of what we are talking about. It's a part
I like
the
this
people.
angle that you're coming
you
from.
Get, we are looking at two parties now. Is it going to favor your party or my party? Now the people have to, that means even if it doesn't favor the people, as long as it favor my party, how do you win when it doesn't favor the people? How does a leader win How does a politician win when the people did not vote for you? When what you are doing doesn't favor the people?
But you know that as it stands now for the political parties is party first.
That means the people did first. You don't have the majority. You have the minority and you still win.
Mr. Lawal, if I can say this, you see,
did you just say Mr. Lawal?
if I can say this, I would love to look at this from the Nigerian perspective.
Yes.
Okay, you are now defining it on Nigerian context. Okay.
There is this thing, the social contract theory.
Okay, I love that.
Now, social contract theory says that in the state of nature,
yes,
man was brutal, there was no government, living was harsh. Now, all of the people banded together and donated their power to a man to rule them as the sovereign, the Leviathan, to rule them as the sovereign. Now, he's holding the power in trust. And the power is for the people to rule in favor of the people. Now, this was said to be the origin or the beginning of governance in an organized society and politics as we have it today. However, in the Nigerian context, it has become upside down, like you said. It's like upside down magic. And I said something on this program some time ago. I got to the heated argument with Mr. Helvis.
Yes.
I said, what we lack in Nigeria is willpower.
Is what willpower?
We don't have the willpower.
Are you sure?
Now,
you can't generalize that.
Have you noticed in the past 10 years, give me a politician or anybody, that was not in government, that was criticizing the government heavily. The moment they're going, boom,
it's something else.
Now, here's a question. Why? If you are outside pointing fingers, what happens the moment you get in? Look at how many politicians have jumped ship from Labour Party to APC.
A lot of them. They've actually done that in droves.
So, like I said, for me, I believe it's willpower. Nobody is coming to save us. No new politician is coming from anywhere to save this country, unless and until we ourselves take charge. And what the president is saying about APC is something that breaks my heart.
It breaks your heart?
It breaks my heart every time. And this is setting a precedence for 2027. And we have to be careful about, they said, if you stay in a glass house, don't throw stones. The first stone has been thrown. Let's wait for the reprisal throw.
All right. Before I introduce my other guest, because like I told you earlier when I was starting the program, I said that the aspect of governance starts from the grassroots, right? We can't continue to call out the executive when those who are meant to manage the affairs at the grassroots are either latent, nonchalant, lackadaisical. So obviously the people would not call anybody other than calling just the executive, right? Now let's talk about security, and I'm making reference to Iromi, what happened in Eson local government area in Edo State. Now immediately that thing happened, X went agog, and a lot of persons from that region started to give ultimatum. They said that if the state government does not fish out the perpetrators and obviously in open met out justice on them, then that kind of hanging dark cloud warning. Now because of that, others came out and said, excuse me, because the presidency reacted, the vice president reacted, Bashir Ahmed reacted,
so many other governors
all
from
of them
other
reacted.
states,
Everybody was reacting, and then everybody was like, excuse me, Deborah in Sokoto was killed in broad daylight. The videos of these individuals was out there. This was during the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Nobody apprehended these individuals with all of the video footage. In fact, Bashir Ahmed came out. If I read his tweet for you, I was shocked because the tweet he actually did now is completely different from what he tweeted then. Bashir Ahmed had the audacity to actually disclose that I can't pretend or keep silent. I support the death penalty for blasphemy. That's my belief, and I do not and will never support. So in other words, he supported the killing of that young lady. Atiku Abubakar, the PDP 2023 presidential aspirant, tweeted and condemned that hostile and malicious and brutal act. The people from his religious whatever were like, excuse me, why would you do that? And Atiku deleted that tweet. They literally galvanized around and he deleted it. Now, in Enugu states, in Osun states, in Ondo states, in Edo states, in Bayelsa, in Benin, in Imo states, Anambra, Enugu,
in Oyo State,
in Oyo State. If you
Oyo.
know the barrage of killings that have been taking place by Fulani herdsmen,
Niger State.
do you know that the same Thursday or Friday when this incident happened in Jos Plateau State, people were mourning and these guys came and killed them off just like
Nobody
that.
talking about
Last
anything
year
about it.
in Mangu Bokos local government area, 200 persons were killed by these terrorists. One individual has not been prosecuted or brought. So the question now is, do we have selective reactivism on issues like this from persons from a certain geographical location? Because people have been lamenting, crying, even the state government will keep mute, like they're not saying what is going on. We'll read it in the news and that's it. Nobody hears or says anything about it. And then this happened. It's really, really unfortunate, right? But it happened and it's now like, how do you explain that, Mr. Lawal, please? This is for you.
Another thing that worries me about that thing is just working on the other side.
These incidents right now, they were indeed hunters. There's one of the witnesses that survived actually explained what happened.
Excuse me, witness, you get it, it's not enough to ascertain, you get it, police, investigation. You get it. The witness is not somebody that's going to speak. So many witnesses will speak. You go to the crime scene. You look at every other document.
The witness is one of the. They were 27.
It's one of them. Do you think it's going to go against his people? You get what I'm saying? Okay. It's one of those that were killed, and you are asking me, are you going to say we are bad? Is he going to tell you exactly what happened? Is it not the duty of the security operative to do all necessary investigation plus what they carry, where are they coming from? You get it? What's their background? What do they have with them? What is the language they speak? All those things are going to put together before you can not you pick one witness and begin to say, because one witness said, who are you going to support? Is he not going to support his own people? If they ask those people who killed them, they too will say, what did they say? They said they are terrorists. I mean, they are kidnappers.
That was what the mob described.
Yes, the mob will support themselves.
The mob will support themselves.
No, what I'm saying is that wait, the mob, they have a reason for doing that. I'm not saying what they did was right.
Yes.
But I am saying that investigation have not been thoroughly done before you come to conclusion. That's my own headache. I started something like there should be thorough investigation and the fact come out with thorough investigation and tell Nigerians what exactly happened. Don't be biased. I don't like a biased story. You get? They are not talking as if those people were just they are innocent people doing party, and so these people just come and kill them. We said it here before that the reason why things like jungle justice happen is because people feel that there's no justice. Nobody's listening to them.
Or that sometimes when they apprehend these individuals and take them to the police station, the next thing they hear is that they've disappeared.
Yes. So then the people begin to take laws in their hands. It's because there's people are not, they don't have confidence in our this thing, security operatives. They believe they are, but that's why you see something like that. Now this thing has happened, fine. You get it? It's like somebody who is doing something happened in the process of self-defense. Then and you're already terming him as a murderer. Then the question is, how did he become a murderer?
But it's not about self-defense. Like
no,
I said, community members have been crying out about these invaders. And then the local vigilante, remember this local vigilante, they are not registered. These are vigilantes paid for by the community members to help protect their community, because they said that the state is underwhelmed. How many policemen would you have? Would they send to a particular state, right? Okay. So the community members said for self-help, where they pay local vigilantes to take care of.
We are doing it in Lagos. We are doing it in Mafoluku. We are doing it in Ajawo. Yes. We are doing it in where Banana Island, even the Banana Island, Surulere, in GRA, wherever are they not doing it in Lagos? You get what I'm saying? Is it new? Or the other countries in which their security systems are working, their police is not enough. So how are they succeeding? How are they surviving? How are they doing it well? You get it?
All right.
How are they doing it well? So don't let us take that as an excuse.
All right. Good evening. Please come closer to the microphone. All right. Remember I told you about the essence of grassroots stewardship and development from the grassroots level, whereby most of the time we call on the executive. We do not know that we have others at the, let's say, bottom level that are meant to address the concerns and issues of the people. Right here, I have Honorable Femi Ibine, right? He is actually a grassroots leader driving community progress. He is a former super for Environment Ejigbo LCDA, Supervisory Councillor for Market and Revenue, grassroots politician and aspirant for Chairman Ejigbo Local Council Development Area. And he actually has Bam Bam Foundation. He has a foundation which is into community progress, leadership-driven activities. Good evening and thank you for joining us today.
Good evening.
How are you? Happy Eid Mubarak, right? Did I get that right? Happy Eid Mubarak. Yes, I got it right. So, I want to ask you something. I remember before we came in, I said that a lot of people have lost trust on the ability of the local government representatives to cater and vie for their interest. Most times when elections are coming up, campaigns are taken up, and then a lot of promises are made. When they eventually get there, in some instances, they become moribund. They're not working, they're not communicating to the people, development is not taking place, several complaints are ongoing, and there's no reaction from the local government. So the question now is, why do you want to take on this responsibility? Because it's a very huge one, considering all the needs that needs to be met. How do you think that you fit into that category? And secondly, how are you very certain that you can deliver?
Thank you very much.
Let's come close so I can hear
Thank you very much.
Yes.
When I came in, I met some germane issues being discussed by
Okay, yes.
people
Yes.
I met in the room, and I found when we talk about politics at the national level
Yes.
or the state level, the bulk of those elections have been the voters that are made up for those elections comes from the grassroots,
Yes.
because each grassroots in this country makes up
Just stay on the mic so that your voice can come out.
the entirety of
Yes.
what is being taken
Yes.
up there. And that means every politics is from the grassroots. When people came into politics, they always have a purpose. Yes. But the road to that place, it takes a lot of challenges. And most people that are out there are not really imbibed in the nitty-gritties of this game. Some people came in with money.
Okay.
Some people came in with connections.
Okay.
Not everybody started as a grassroots.
Okay.
But when you see people that now started from the scratch, like I've been in politics since I was in school.
Okay.
So after leaving school, I did my youth course Access Bank Nigeria PLC.
Okay.
But
When you say you did your policies since you were in school, you were active in political events, activities. You were part of a political party even at that stage?
yes,
Okay.
I was going to meetings.
Okay.
So coming out, started going to political meetings.
Okay.
Just to be abreast of things and know the way things are being run at that level. From there, in 2014, during the Ambody campaign
Yes.
for the governor of Lagos State, I was a key member.
2014?
Yes,
Okay. Wow, that's way back.
I was a key member in the campaign.
Okay.
I've been doing fashion last time too.
Okay.
I've been participating. But during Ambody, I take a very, very vital role. I was the secretary of the AMCO, that is Ambody Campaign Organization in
Okay.
my local government.
All right.
So
That's Ejigbo.
yes.
Okay.
And my activities during that time got me an appointment into the committee,
Okay.
the local government committee. That is the ad hoc committee that gelled the activities of our local government. After the chairman left, so there was a caretaker committee that was established by the governor then,
Yes.
Governor Fashola.
Yes.
So I was a member of that committee. That's five-man committee. I was a member. So I served with an astute administrator, the late Barrister Jayalabi. That was his name. So we served for 1.5 years before we were being disbanded and they brought in administrators.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So after then, I came back in 2017 as the supervisor for environment
Okay.
under the leadership of Honorable Monsieur Oloyede Bello Abe.
All right.
That's my chairman in Ejibo now. And so far, I have witnessed local government governance, but under Obe's administration, I saw that so many things can be achieved because Ejibo is one of the underdeveloped local governments in Lagos State. It's part of Oshodi, Solo local government as a whole. So out of the three, Oshodi, Isolo, and Ejibo, they have the least revenue generation because the place is more or less like one word being transformed
Okay.
into a local
Government.
due to Asiwaju's
Influence.
influence of LCDs. And when Obe came on board, he was the third chairman of that local government. He was Elson. The record speaks. It's there. And you see a local government chairman that is doing roads at will, building structures, schools, hospitals, and all those stuff. Yes.
You know that the members in that local government will call on this program to verify most of what you're reeling out now about that. You know, right?
Yes.
They'll call in to either verify or
Yes.
negate. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
They know. And they'll say it.
Okay.
This is the first time that Ejigbo has been this peaceful. We're always having, politics at the grass level is very, very cumbersome. So many caucuses, so many groups.
Yes.
And everybody will be dragging things with themselves. But when you have a chairman that is performing and is doing things that people are seeing, it kills all those animosities.
Okay.
And you find out that him leaving, you find out that you are seeing like 20 people vying for the same people that they want to succeed this man. Because you have something like, okay, yes, this is somebody has taken the bold step. Okay, now everybody wants to build on that success. And that is the awareness that good governance brings to the people and the masses.
Okay.
When you see somebody doing something that is reflecting on their lives, everybody wants to like, yes, I want to be involved. The problem we have in this country is most people are not well inclined as to their own commitments, what they're supposed to do for themselves in order to be able to demand for good things from the government.
Really?
Yes. When you know what is right for you, these are the amenities you're supposed to get from the government because you are involved. When people do things for you, you don't see it as this person is doing me a favor. It's not a favor.
It's a responsibility.
It's their responsibility. And when you now know how to take that responsibility from the government or demand it from the government, it will be easy for you to develop yourself and build yourself too.
All right, let me ask you a question. A couple of persons complain that the roads are so bad. Some persons also complain about the local healthcare facilities, that's the healthcare centers, not the general hospitals, or the healthcare centers, and the fact that some major facilities for ordinary illnesses are not available. Secondly, when they go there, the attitude through which they are treated, that's two. Number three, some areas no more water. Usually you used to have, at least if not in your house, in some communities there's a place you can go and get water. At least make it accessible and affordable. All these things are, like you said, the responsibility of the local government to provide. Now, there are some roads that have been just left abandoned, dilapidated, that if the Lagos state government does not put their eye into it, sorry for you. Some people also feel that if you're not of part of this reigning political party, anything that has to do with development, especially if an opposition political party is in charge of that local government, whatever it is you're asking for will not be given to you. So secondly, who checks what the local government chairman would do? That's one. Two, when you take up a responsibility to become the local government chairman, do you wait for people to come and meet you to complain? Are you not aware of the lack or the death in the local government or in the constituents, whereby on your own you begin to take action?
That is what I said. When people are aware, you know someone that is coming out from your local government, and you know that this person is conversant with your problems,
Okay.
and what the needs of the local government is. You go to the polling unit.
Some people don't even know you. Some people don't know who their local government chairman is. Some people don't know who their councillors are.
Madam, I am telling you now that when you are abreast of what is happening in the environment, you will see these candidates. Vote for the person you know. But the problem we have here is most people knows these people. They know their capability, but they will still close their eyes because they are close to them in one way or the other. Or they've been giving something, they will go and vote for someone else that is ready to put something in your pocket. When you know somebody and you know his capability, you know what he can do, what he can deliver. When you vote for him, you can always hold him accountable because he knows next time he's coming to meet you again for your votes.
Do you have sensitization events in some of these local
like
governments?
In my local government,
yes.
Whenever we want to embark on any project or we are entering another budget year, which is a new fresh year, we call stakeholders, all the stakeholders in the community, we call them to a meeting, the CDAs, the CDCs, market operators,
Okay.
and other people other stakeholders, they come on board, they engage the local government. We take notes, we take everything. Those are the things we take to the budget retreat, and we discuss issues. Then we mark our activities for the year based on those things that the community leaders put forward before us. And even we, because we reside in those communities, we put some other things into the budget for the year. And
How would you handle the menace of cultism, cult fights? I remember 2 weeks ago, somebody was complaining about Satellite Town, how these individuals were macheting young persons, they were being macheted and all whatnot, and no policeman was doing anything about it. It was like whatever it is they are doing, when they are done with themselves, they would go back home. So there is a dearth when it comes to security at the grassroots level. How do you intend to look into it?
when it comes to security, there's what we call community policing. Okay. Which involve members of the community. All right. There is no community that you have menace that you don't know the people that are creating this menace. They are either someone's sons, or someone's wards, or someone's cousins, everybody, or someone's neighbor. Everybody knows themselves. Okay. And there are some people within the community too that have been through so many things in their life. They've been through some phases. Yes. And they have outgrown it. They've become key figures in the community. When everybody comes together to put an end to all these things, it can be done with the help of the police. With the help of the police? Yes, you have to support the police. The police cannot do it alone. There must be people inside the community that are willing to cooperate with the police to stop this menace. Interesting. That is how it works in my area. Okay. You work in synergy with the police. Yes, if you have not tried it before, you cannot provide it as a solution. All right. Let's look at critical infrastructures like community education centers, especially the informal education centers. Not everyone had an opportunity to attend school at a very young age, right? So you now have persons into adult education. You now have, for example, like I told you about let's say traditional, but not really traditional orthodox healthcare centers. There are some healthcare centers where it's not fully sponsored by the state government or the local, partially sponsored by the local government, but you have some private individuals that sponsor that particular healthcare center. Now, how do you ensure that community members feel the impact of that healthcare facility? How do you now go about educating, especially in public schools, being enabled by the local government? And then how do you resolve, employment opportunities? If there is no employment, you see a lot of young persons come to the local government asking for cash on a daily. I've witnessed that myself. They always come and look for the local government chairman every day. If you're not around, they'll camp in front of your office like that. How do you deal with that? That is why I said, when you don't really know about these things, you won't be able to really talk about it. Like in my local government, all right, there's something we have some contract staffs. Okay. People that it is the local government that employs them and caters for them at the end of every month for the works they do. Okay. When it comes to the health sector, there is primary health care. We have 4 in my local government. That it is the responsibility of the local government to equip those healthcare centers, all right, and supply them with drugs to cater for the people. Okay. So there's a vocational center. Okay. We have a vocational center that is situated at our own temporary office. We have a temporary office that is at Otasuni. Okay. In Ejigbo local government. Our main office is at NMPC. Okay. Which we just rebuilt. And that is the work of the same chairman that I'm talking about. Okay. So you understand what I'm saying now? So when everybody knows their job and you set your priorities right, people will not be able to be coming for stipends at the local government. Because you see that when you even want to go out for revenue collections, presently I'm the supervisor for market and revenue. Yes, I was going to ask you that. Want to ask people for money, you have to show them what you are doing. In what way are you impacting into their life and their business?
For market and revenue, yes.
To come and pay to the covers of the council.
Yes.
They must be seeing something that will encourage them to want to come.
So what do you do with what is being done with the revenue for the markets? What is being done with it?
When I said market and revenue,
yes,
it is an embodiment of all the IGR that comes into the council.
Okay.
So it goes into the coffers of the council.
So which includes transportation, market, and all of those aspects, all banks,
corporate,
everything.
Yes, everything. So everything you want to pay, you have the teller. You go to the bank. You have everything on that. You pay directly to the bank. Nobody collects cash from anybody. So it goes to the coffers of the council, which the council will now use to develop the community. Plus whatever you are getting from the government.
So development includes sanitization, paying for sanitization, everything. Infrastructure provision, and all, including paying salaries of those who will be working in that access. As temporary staff. Why temporary staff?
Because everybody cannot be an employee. And you said, how are they keeping people off the road?
Okay. True. Amazing. So in that particular regard, now let me ask you, because it's very important, we want to delve into other issues. How are you going to continue engagement? Because, for example, let's say you win, you're with the All Progressives Congress, right? So let's say you win now. Wait now, that's your political party, that's the umbrella you're working with. How are you going to continue engagement? Let's say you were able to get it. How do you continue engagement? A situation where you're constantly communicating, you it's not that you just make yourself absent for any reason, because it happens in some local governments.
Yes. When I've not
come closer to the microphone, please.
I've not given you my platform.
Okay, what's your platform?
For my contest.
Okay, what's your platform?
My project is Project 360.
Project 360. Oh wow,
and
beautiful.
What Project 360 entails is I am coming from an angle that has witnessed every spheres of life. I have been through everything. I started from the scratch. So when it comes to security, I understand. When it comes to streets, I understand. When it comes to education, I understand. Administrative, I understand. And dealing with people politically,
you understand.
I understand. That is an embodiment of everything. So when you have those kind of knowledge, you know how to treat everybody equally.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Thank you very much. I sincerely do appreciate.
So that means there's no way I'll get there. I cannot run from the people.
Obviously.
I'm always in their midst.
Obviously, you have to be. Thank you very much. We would like to delve into other issues. I know that when it's time for us, would you like to stay till the end of the program? Because I would like you to get yourself involved in other issues as well. You enjoyed the conversation. All right. Thank you very much. I sincerely do appreciate that. Please just stay with us. Now, Mr. Damilari, let me come to you. So very recently during the Salah homage, right, at the Villa, the president was able to reel out encomiums on the FCT minister. According to the president, he said he loves diversity. So let me tell you what he said. He said that he believes in the strength of Nigeria's diversity and the need to accommodate and manage the diversity for the greater good of the nation. This was what he said. He also commended the minister of the FCT for his laudable ideas and projects implemented since coming on board as the FCT minister. Now, the president specifically referred to Wike as Mr. Infrastructure and commended him for the various ongoing projects being implemented in the nation's capital city, expressing the hope that such good performance will give victory to the All Progressives Congress in 2027. Again, this is the president re-emphasizing about that. And obviously that Wike is meant to deliver that mandate. It's an official assignment that Wike has no choice but to do. Now, when Wike came to the FCT, he did not get the acceptance of some FCT persons because of the demolition that was taking place. They said he was giving houses to judges. They said he was showing preference and all whatnot. If this followership is in discordance with the personality of Wike, how would he be able to deliver the FCT for the president?
Well, firstly, I would like to say Wike is not the governor of FCT.
He's the minister of the FCT.
He is, but it's not the governor.
But you're hearing the president emphasize Wike, you must deliver for 2027.
Wait now. Now, what the president is saying, if I am right, is that all your projects, everything that will be executed by you must be tailored in a way that will ensure our popularity in the FCT. However, I still do not believe that that is right.
You don't think that's right?
Yes, let me land.
Okay.
You see, as the president, you are the father of the nation. You are not the father of your political party.
Okay.
And every statement you make carries weight.
Wait, you say he's not the father of the political party?
Yes.
He's father of the political party.
No,
Now,
yes.
the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of what? Nigeria, not of his own political party. Let us get that out of the way. You see, like, the Nigerian context is the Nigerian context. But this is how it should be. And that is one of the issues we have in the country. We have been so used to dysfunctionality that doing things right seems strange to us. Doing things right seems absurd to us. You see, when the president makes this kind of statements, it leaves imprints in the hearts of some people as to division and preference. And it must be checked.
But if the president is lauding Wike, then maybe he's really doing the needful. For the president, he said things started changing rapidly. I started looking at the opening of the rural areas of abandoned projects, and the residence of the vice president that has been abandoned for years came alive. The health centers are being rehabilitated. The health facilities of the residents of FCT are being upgraded. Our teachers at schools are being rehabilitated. Buildings are furnished. Thank you, Wike. These are serious encomiums on,
Please.
For the FCT minister.
Just 30 seconds. So if
I'm
coming. I just said take the floor. Just 30 seconds. If that is true, why is the minister and the other political office holders in the FCT plus the president and the vice are not using the hospital in FCT? Why are they flying out of the country for medical? If he is doing a good job in health, in federal capital territory, why are they going out for treatment?
Okay.
I just checked that one in.
No, that's a good one. But for me, a little diversion. Please educate me if I'm wrong. Why has the president been quiet about Wike versus Fubara feud? No, let us put this in context.
It's the politics of it now.
I know, but we know they have done more harm than good to the people of Rivers State. And we know what is going on in Rivers State today. So for me, I think all the encomium, all the accolades is based on what Wike did in the last election, not what he's doing now.
Are you sure? But what the president said now, he did not refer to the last election. He's referring to all what Wike has presently done.
I am saying.
Okay.
No, I'm giving you my own view that since Wike has been president of FCC from day one, he's been getting accolades.
Okay.
And for me, I've not seen anything incredible that Wike has done.
You've not seen?
I've not seen.
All right, Honorable, please come in.
I want to.
Please face the mic. I want you to face the mic. Yes.
Let's not get this mixed up.
Okay.
I'm not talking from the angle of being an APC member.
Okay.
Or contest on that platform. But let's look at the Wike issue.
Okay.
They didn't just start calling Wike Mr. Project when he got to FCT.
Way back from Rivers.
From Rivers, they've been calling him Mr. Project. And then he was in PDP. And nobody saw anything wrong in that then. So now because Wike have now shifted camp, you are seeing something wrong in him being called Mr. Project.
Wike has not shifted camp, but he's still a member of PDP.
Yes, he's a member of PDP, but
he's
now
working
he's
for the
inclined
APC.
to the president. See, let's be factual here. Wike, when he was in PDP and he was doing all those things, the whole country was accolading him. They're giving him accolades. And now, if he's now, the reason why the president brought him to Abuja is because they want him to come and defy all odds and reflect the same thing, replicate the same thing you did
in Rivers.
In Rivers. In Abuja.
But the issue
so if he's now doing it in Abuja, because now, when he demolished the PDP secretariat, you are in government for 16 years and you did not even perfect the document of your
secretariat.
Is that... Does that apply?
Now here's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you the question. What a lot of persons are having issues with Wike here, and they feel that the president is assenting to it, is his indulgence and influence in the political atmosphere of Rivers.
Exactly.
Wike had said earlier, before he became the FCT minister, in fact, Wike said he was not looking for any ministerial appointment. You see that he has made different contradicting statements that people don't trust where he's coming from. A couple of persons have even warned the president to deal with Wike with a long spoon. That he should not trust Wike. Wike sabotaged his predecessor, Amechi. Wike sabotaged the former president's wife, who obviously had shown him support. So the complaint people are having is the political tension in Rivers State. Wike was a huge influence, and that in everything, the president never called out Wike for once. For example, when the president met with the PANDEF leaders, right, he spoke to them that he should go and tell their son Fubara to implement the Supreme Court ruling. Meanwhile, the president had called Fubara, if you remember, where there was an 8-point resolution. So he said, I have called Fubara privately. I have called him out publicly. He has refused that he should implement the Supreme Court ruling. In all of that conversation, the one factor whom they knew was causing the political unrest, the president never mentioned it. The president did not also tell the Martin Amawele faction to work in accordance with Fubara so that there will be peace in the state. So people feel that there was a political trajectory in the whole entire audio. That's why people are pointing fingers at Wike, that everything he's been doing is not for the interest per se as to what a lot of people know him as. It is basically selfish and his own political inclination. How do you see that?
Let me take you back.
Okay.
Let me take you back. 2014-15, when Amechi was in charge of Rivers State,
Yeah.
immediately Amechi was leaving that place. Amechi did not deliver the state for the president then, which is Muhammadu Buhari.
Oh, yes.
He lost the state. But when his party brought Magnus Abe and other people to the forefront,
With seconders.
Amechi fought them to stupor until the party crashed in that state. This is the kind of leadership they bring from that side. Godfatherism in that side is the order of the day.
Not just that side, anyways. Godfatherism in Lagos too is
They
also.
fight to dirty.
Yes.
In Lagos, we are more civilized and fashioned about it.
Okay.
Yes.
He's talking about what happened at the Lagos State House of Rep. That's why he said, because of what happened at the Lagos State House of
Not even
Representatives.
from the beginning,
generate?
from 1990.
No, it was the president was able to
Don't
nip
let
it
me
in the
interrupt
bud.
you, please.
No, the president was able to nip it in the bud.
Do you know what about the crisis?
Mr.
What about the crisis?
Mr. Lawa,
Wait, allow him to land now. Allow him to land. Please, continue. Yes.
That's why we say, okay,
Yes,
Mr.
allow
Lawa,
him to
hold on,
land,
let
yes.
him
But
land.
what
Okay,
I'm trying
sorry.
To, what I'm trying to tell you is,
I apologize.
these are precedents that have been set before.
Okay.
So now we cannot just be lambasting Wike and the president about encouraging Wike. The president have not directly been involved in that.
In that way.
In that word.
This emergency.
The state of emergency is because if you don't go to that level, we will be talking about so many facilities and human resources that will have been wasted in Rivers State by now.
Who says that facility that was tampered with had anything to do with the state governor? Was there any investigation carried out? Okay, fine. Even if the president wanted to emerge out a state of emergency, why suspend the governor? Why suspend the House of Rep members? When Goodluck Jonathan did that, he did not suspend the governor, he did not suspend the House of Rep members, but he enacted a state of emergency because of insecurity in the state. At what point did that kind of volatility take place in Rivers that there was an immediate, in less than 24 hours, an immediate state of emergency was declared? You didn't give it time to investigate who were those that sabotaged that pipeline. What other alternative measures could have been applied to ensure that does not continue again? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Economic implication is enough for him to do that.
Okay, fine. Wait, agreed about the economic implication. But the thing is this, what I'm trying to say is that...
And from economic implication, it will escalate to other implications.
Okay. What I'm trying to set out here is they have felt the president's heavy presence through Wike in the political activity in Rivers. Wike has been so into the case of Rivers, organized press conferences denigrating and talking about the Rivers State governor rather than his own activities and portfolio as the FCT minister. Now, people have been saying that the president has openly reprimanded Fubara, but has not done that with Wike. You've not asked him to step down. You've not asked him to step aside. Even if you want to do anything in terms of influencing, do it at the background. Don't make it obvious that it is you literally being part of the political tension in the states. I understand the aspect of godfatherism. It was through Wike, obviously, that Fubara became the governor of the state. We heard from the supporters of Fubara that the state was originally won by the Labour Party and not the APC. This was where Wike delivered his mandate. But you have led the states. Why not allow this man do his 4 years and then you continue from there? Why must it be the way you want it to be? I don't know if you understand where people are coming from. They feel that the president was biased and partisan in handling this issue. If you're putting a gavel down on Fubara, what about Wike? Do you get my point?
Wike is not a River State.
So that's the technicality, that's the technical
Wike
angle
is
you're
in
coming
Abuja.
from. But Wike has been heavily involved in the political situation in Rivers.
If I may, if you look at the
Were
antecedents,
were those assembly members suspended too?
Yes, they were suspended.
Wike has been suspended in River State then.
He has not been suspended though.
he hasn't.
If you suspend those assembly members, you are suspended Wike in River State.
How?
Are you sure?
Yes.
How is that
Okay,
official?
everybody is saying those people are working
For
for
Wike.
Wike. And you have been suspended. That means Wike has been suspended in Rivers.
But
How?
the admiral that was placed there is obviously a very close ally to Nyesom
We
Wike.
got close allies.
See,
As we go
Esther.
in life, we will
Wait
meet
now.
people and we will know people. We will be friends with people and we will be enemies with people. In this context, politically, who are enemies among all these people? Nobody. Once you leave office today, you see them together somewhere next tomorrow. Anybody can be anywhere, anytime. So nobody is an ally to anybody. Everybody is doing their interests.
All right. Let me play to you what what's his name? Former governor of Rivers State, Amechi said. This was with an.
Amechi is a bitter person.
You've already.
So yes,
You've already given your conclusion. Let's just listen to Amechi and what he says and
everybody
see
has
if
given their conclusion.
and see
I've
and
not
see and
concluded
see if what Amechi is saying has any form of viability. Because we need to talk about the insecurity at Uromi and the action of the response from the executive and the state government as regards the insecurity that has been occurring in every other geographical location in the country. Yes.
okay. Can I say something concerning
Hold
this?
on,
Victor?
I'm playing something. Just
Of
give
Rivers
us-
State and the FCT minister and the current governor is about sharing money. If not, what's the problem? Nigerians don't dislike corruption again. Because I've not seen anybody on the street shouting about what is the problem. Can both of them speak to the public and tell us what the problem is about? And then we are now denied democracy. So the Rivers State is the only state in the country that can practice democracy. They've imposed a military rule on us. Secondly, is the fact that the president acted outside the constitution. Section 188 states how a governor can leave office, either by death or by resignation or by impeachment. It didn't say that one day you wake up and one man called the president of Nigeria will just wake up and throw you out of office. It makes democracy unstable. So that's what's going on in Rivers State.
Right. And who do you suspect has a hand in all this?
The president.
What about the FCT minister?
It's between the president and the FCT minister. One, the president wants a power grab. They want to frighten governors who may likely not support them for 2027. And so the rumor is everywhere. If you're not careful, the president will remove you. If you're not careful, the president will remove you. So this is all about sharing money and 2027 politics.
But the president cited political instability and a crisis in the state as the reason for this move. I know already you feel like that's not true, but do you believe this justifies the declaration of a state of emergency?
No. What is stability? Tell me what is stability in Rivers State. Is it between the governor and the former governor or the FCT minister? Or is it
That's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need to know from you. You know what is happening in the background. We can
I
only
told you
see
here that
Rivers
absolutely.
State.
If the president says it's insecurity, they blew the pipe. What about the other parts of the country where there is insecurity? Is the president saying that they should impose emergency rule on him? They can't because he's a democratically elected president. Nobody can impose. Nobody can impose emergency rule on him because of the fact that there is serious insecurity in the northeast and the northwest, even in the southeast, even in the south. So now the fact that those pipes, if they were blown, I don't know what happened in Rivers State. The fact that it happened. The governor has no responsibility, has no security responsibility. Security responsibility rests squarely on the president. So why punish a man who did not commit an offense? That's the question to ask. Why punish a man who did not commit an offense? So anyway, that's the answer to the question you raised.
Yes.
Tell them to show me one Nigerian leader that has engaged the youth the way I have in terms of protests and all that. I led a protest from Port Harcourt to the Port Harcourt International Airport. In fact, we broke the gate as governor of the international airport and walked in because he said Buhari would not fly in.
This is just looking for relevance.
No. So
I led that protest. Don't forget that I was a governor then. I led the protest against the police to the police IG's office, and we blocked the gate. In the attendance were Buhari, myself, Dr. Nu, and others. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu was supposed to be there. He was among those who planned it with me, but he didn't come. He disappeared. What is material is that I have led protests in this country, both as a student leader between 1983 when I got into the university to 1987 when I left. Nigeria knew no rest. There were protests every day. We protested against Buhari when he was the head of state. We protested against Babangida when he was the head of state. All that was organized by me as a member of NANS, National Association of Nigerian Students.
Now you are a lawyer, and you actually did write a statement and you published after the emergency rule and mentioned a violation of the Constitution. Now, for a layperson like me who's not Nigerian or who's not from Nigeria or someone who might not even know about the Constitution, can you elaborate on how this contradicts with Section 188 of the Nigerian Constitution?
I already have told you when we started. What I told you was that first and foremost, the president reserves the right to declare state of emergency in areas of the country that have security challenges. Of course, the president has the right. Section 305, I think so, protects him, gives him that power. That section did not include the removal of a governor. If the framers of the Constitution wanted to remove governor through state of emergency, they would have included it. Now they went to the same framers went to a separate section, Section 188, and outlined the requirements for the removal of a governor. One of those requirements included impeachment, the death of a governor, or the resignation of the governor. It did not say that the president will wake up one day and just say, look, I've removed this governor. Then it means that the opposition will not have governors, because the day the president wakes up as a person in power, he will just remove all the opposition governors and put people who are loyal to him.
But
All right. So you heard what Amaechi said. He actually said quite a lot. You wanted to say something in regards to that? You wanted to say something in regards to what Amaechi said?
I wasn't expecting anything less from Amaechi.
You really?
Yes, because this was the person that when he brought out a candidate to succeed him in APC, in this same state, and the person lost, he did not allow the party as a candidate for the general election.
I don't understand.
Go ahead, please.
I said I don't understand. Reason because this man is talking constitution, you are talking politics. They are two different things. Somebody is quoting constitution, the law that binds all of us, and say this is right or not right.
But he's telling you about Amaechi's political precedent.
We are not talking politics now. Everybody has said.
He's trying to tell you. Wait, just understand something.
About the constitution, decision that the president took, and the House of Assembly, that is the custodian of our constitution, backed him.
Who told you? Unconstitutionally backed him because they didn't form a code.
Mr. Lawal, let him land and then you respond. Okay. Please go ahead, sir.
And the custodian of our constitution, which is the House of National Assembly, backed him. And you are telling me that it is Amaechi that will not tell us what is constitutional and what is not constitutional.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Lawal.
Okay, very
what
good.
he's trying to tell you is that Amaechi himself played this political game, this dirty game in Rivers. So how do you hold his words? How do you hold it as water?
Okay, very good.
That's what he's trying to say.
So many people have been saying it. You get it? Even in the north, in the National Assembly, across, people have been there who have not been. So even past president Jonathan said it. Everybody have been saying this thing is not. And you are picking Amaechi. No, excuse, wait. And you are saying that wait now.
I'm telling you about all the people that are in that assembly, National Assembly. They are from every part of this country.
You
And they're
are-
representing people.
A few,
Wait,
a few
now I'm
of
coming
them,
to
a
that.
few of them, especially the opposition, did not align with the state
How
of
many, wait,
emergency.
excuse me. How many
A
people?
couple of them even walked
Esther,
out. They
let
came
me-
out to someone like Seriake Dixon and a couple of persons came
let
out
me
to
let
say
me
they were
say
not
let me be
in support of
asking
her.
this question. Oh, how many people are supposed to be in that National Assembly? What is the quantity of
At
the
least
number?
2/3 of the persons.
No,
are
no,
meant to
the
be-
total number. Let's see the number that were present that
Okay.
day.
They were
And the
not
number
up
that
to-
they
they were
didn't
not up
form
to
what the
800.
Constitution says that 2/3. They did not form, and everybody said this number did not form the 2/3. And
Well,
how did you get it approved?
They went
Now,
to a closed door meeting. In that closed door meeting, we don't know the number of persons, but overwhelmingly, the yes was more.
no,
than
that
the
was not right. Because there are, it was analyzed. There are three things when it comes to voicing out.
Okay.
You can say yes, you can say no, you can abstain.
Okay.
What about the number of people who abstain? Some people maybe did not speak.
All
Did you
right.
have that number? Excuse me. If you have 200 people, maybe 50.
Maybe.
Well, excuse me, 50 said yes. What about if the remaining 150 said abstained? There must be, look at what they do in national in
You must always give
excuse me
your
sir,
voice.
wait, I have you have your, wait, I want to look at United Nations. Have you seen voting in United Nations?
Yes.
It is always spelled out in three: the people who said yes, people who said no, and the people who abstain.
They were supposed to do a count. It was supposed to be
Yes,
a
they're
count.
supposed to not it.
That
but
kind of sensitive situation.
we can't even
but
do
they
it in
went
school.
on a voice. They went with
What
do you mean
voice
voice
votes.
votes?
That's why a lot of persons
Esther.
had issues with that. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah,
Because they're a legal
we've
practitioner.
been having voice votes in our houses for years now. Nobody has ever complained. But now
We
here's
do.
the thing.
We've been complaining that it's not
Section-
right.
Please, section 103, 305, I mean, of the Constitution. Now, the president took advantage of section 305, sub 3D. There is a kind of ambiguity there.
What was the ambiguity?
Said, situations where the head of state can declare a state of emergency. If there is a clear and present danger, and present danger of an actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation or any part thereof, requiring extraordinary measures to avert such danger. See,
Okay.
that extraordinary measures was what
He used.
is used. Now, that the pipeline explosion
That
was
that they
the
tampered with.
excuse.
That's the extraordinary measure.
That was the excuse.
that could
That
truncate
didn't even
things.
go- it didn't even go along with the
wait
Constitution.
now. The
Wait
economic
now.
angle of that particular thing.
Wait now.
Okay.
So now, what the federal government is saying is that they are using that as an excuse.
Okay.
They're using that as an excuse. However, looking at the reality of the situation,
Okay.
there are other parts of the Nigeria that need this state of emergency. Rivers does not need it. Look at Plateau State. How many people have died in Plateau State over the last 3 years? Look at the northern part of the country now. Look at Ondo State. Everywhere complaining of X-Men killing. These are what needs attention. Back to the Wike issue. This is why I said the accolades on Wike, they are merely political. Why has the president been so fixated on the affairs of Rivers State ever since there's been a breakdown of relationship between Fubara and Wike? You see, there are other parts of Nigeria that need this attention, that needs all these resources, that needs all this time. Not Rivers State. Rivers State is just a tussle of power. Now, I blame someone for all this thing. I blame Fubara. In life, don't be desperate for anything.
Was he desperate?
Now, who made Fubara governor?
I don't agree with that.
Who made Fubara
All right,
governor? Who
don't
made
worry,
him
you
governor?
continue on that thought. Before you go, I want you to talk on the security situation and what transpired in Uromi. A couple of people feel that the federal government was selective in reacting, and that the state governor was selective in reacting, that the people of that community have been complaining about insecurity for a long time, and that they had not seen this measure of alacrity in addressing and responding to it until what happened, and that certain persons from a particular geopolitical location or a geographical location in this country, they're giving that overwhelming support, like they're afraid of them or something. Would you align your train of thought with that, or you have a contravening perspective to what transpired and the way the government handled it?
No matter the part of the country
Yes,
that things are happening from,
Yes, yeah,
the government will never be in support of we taking the laws into our hands.
okay.
So whichever way it plays out, the government will always clamp down on the community.
Okay.
When you ask OD people their own side of the story, they will tell you they have been forced to react the way they reacted before Basotho declared that the place should be take him down, and other places like that. Yes, when you listen to all these herdsmen too, some of them will come on and they will tell you, we pay the traditional rulers in this area before we can stay there for as
long as possible. They say so.
Than 3 months.
They are meant to stay for less than a month or just a month.
No, you can. They are allowed to pass by.
Okay.
They are allowed to pass by. In whatever makes them stay, that means they've paid somebody. That is what they're claiming. That they've paid somebody.
So traditional leaders are culprits in this as well.
So that's what I'm saying. The leaders of those communities.
Can I come in?
All right.
Just women. I want to. Okay. Maybe you go and do research on it. There's what we call grazing route. Even the white men put that grazing route there. They look at the grazing route. You get there are only 2 grazing routes in the south. The one that pass, I think, Ilorin side, and then I think no grazing route in the south. You get it. Even when I taught agric and I did agric.
Yes, there's no
in the south. And in the south, cattle don't survive very well. It's only in the north. Now, they are meant to be in the north. Third, even the space in the north that can be used for grazing, they have not even used 2% of that spaces there. You get it. And fourth, which I want you to answer, why is it that they are giving some people amnesty when they caught them, those bandits that have killed so many people, and when they are caught, eventually they give them amnesty?
Don't let us get this twisted.
Okay.
During the Jonathan era, the Niger Deltas were given amnesties.
Okay.
This amnesty was not given by this present regime.
No. Start from the beginning. That is the fourth one.
That is what I'm saying.
Wait, Mr. Law, allow him to speak.
Then, the Niger Delta boys were given amnesty.
Yes.
Meant, if I'm right.
Next, we saw all these herdsmen being given amnesty. Now, this particular government has not given any of these people amnesty. But when you say there's no grazing route in the south, how does those cattle get to the south?
That's the question.
That means there's some people within the southern
locality
that are encouraging these people to come, or they are the owners of these cattle. And they brought those people to come and be catering for them.
So, if it is true, you get it.
It's not.
Wait,
true. Let's
wait. Now, I want to ask a question. Why?
Wait. I mean, he's a politician.
I'm not a politician.
Okay.
Why? See, excuse me. Wait. Okay. Why do we have a conflict? See, a king in an area, you get it, is to govern the people.
Yes.
Now, your people are having conflict with these herdsmen. These herdsmen are killing your people. You get it, and the kings plus the governors are seriously complaining, and you are telling me that they have an agreement with the king. Why would they have an agreement with the king and the people are having issues with them? How is it possible? Because if lively state of these people is mostly agriculture.
Mr. Lawal, I think the question we should be asking ourselves is this: why is it that all over the country we are having complaints of Fulani herdsmen?
Fulani terrorists, not even herdsmen. Because being a herdsman is not even a bad thing.
Let's say terrorist. I agree with the word terrorist.
Hiding behind being an herdsman. Herdsmen now. You understand? And what brought them to our doorsteps?
Yes.
It is the cattle hearing. Who owns this cattle? You're telling me there is no grazing route. How do they find their way to?
That's why that's why there's an issue. That's why they're having conflict with the farmers and everybody in the village and everywhere.
There's an issue concerning.
That's why
concerning this. However, the government has not been proactive in tackling the issue. This is where this Uromi's case is peculiar. Yeah. Why is the government now swift to cut into action? Because now I think there's a lot of details we are missing in this Uromi issue. Number one, the first one is this: you are traveling back home. Why are you traveling with guns? Number two,
they said they are hunters and that the guns are licensed, that they produce documents.
You are traveling to Kano. You are traveling to Kano.
You want to come and kill elephants in the south?
No, you want to come from rivers. You know the route you have to pass to get to Kano.
And you are going with Dengon. I'm going with Dengon.
Is it Godzilla? Excuse me.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's why there's a conflict.
They were not grazing.
That's why there's a conflict. That's why they are having conflict.
They said they are hunters.
They are not X-Men.
Are they coming to kill? Are they coming to kill dragons?
They said they are hunters.
Are they coming to kill dragons?
Mr. Lawal, they said they are hunters. No. And in rivers, I know that what they do there is fishing.
I don't know.
Okay. So another question is this: the last
It's
time?
fishing with
When was the last time you saw Southerners traveling with a lot of guns saying they are going hunting? So I think now, but the people of Uromi were erratic and excited in their actions because they've been victims of kidnappings
and nothing
of
has been
killings
done.
without
Terrorist
nothing.
onslaught.
So, the fundamental issue we have is this: when the institution of the state refuses to take care of law and order, we go into a state of anarchy.
Yes.
I blame the government. I blame the police. I don't blame the Northerners. I don't blame the people of Uromi. I blame the government. Why was it vigilantes that are stopping and asking the question? Where was the police checkpoints?
We have
How
them
many
here now.
police checkpoints have they passed?
Yeah, we have them
Imagine
here.
I have a license gun, like 20 of us moving with license guns, but we are traveling
And
to
all the
a
way
faraway
from
place,
rivers.
and you are
They
telling me,
would have cut across several checkpoints.
Yes, to get to that place. And those people didn't see the guns, and if you see ordinary knife with somebody, you say it's
if
carrying
the
a
police,
illegal weapon.
if the police had done their jobs, we would not be here discussing this. If the police had done their jobs,
GSS, the
this would not be
SSS,
the
all
issue.
that, I don't understand.
This will not be the issue.
All right, Honorable. I know you have
sir.
somewhere to be. Thank you very much for coming around today, and we simply do appreciate your input on the program.
Thank you.
All right, we'll keep on communicating. Have yourself a good evening. So we'll throw the questions at you.
You should just continue listening.
All right. So you were saying something.
So I was saying, you see, when the institution of the state, when the institution of the state fails, when it collapses, then the people take up arms to protect themselves. That's just the simple truth.
Are we not doing it here? Are we not doing it here? We have vigilantes all over now that are protecting us.
How many police checkpoints did these guys pass through? And those dang guns were not discovered. And the people of Uromi also, ever since they be victims of attacks from, I don't know, X-Men, terrorists, what has been done to protect these people? So this is not a one-sided story. Both parties are victims, and they are both victims of a failing government, of a failing system. And this is a wake-up call to every tier of government. Everybody needs to wake up. I was on X and I'm seeing Nigerians through the most insensitive
I'm telling
tweets,
you. I'm
making
telling you.
this a tribal thing.
It made it a mad tribal thing. Did you? In fact, God,
I can't even begin to say.
I don't know.
To read to you the
I
tweets.
saw it. I saw it, and I was
And they're trying
was
to make it
befuddled.
a northern, southern, south. No,
I saw somebody
Everybody is
write.
in
I saw
danger.
somebody send, and somebody literally deliberately distorted the facts, and wrote that it is the southeasterners residing in Uromi, that they sent a broadcast in there, whatever, and said that the southeasterners staying in Kaduna, whatever, should start relocating to their home
Oh, I
states.
saw that. I
You
saw that. I saw that.
That they will not continue with this rubbish
there'll
anymore.
be a
That it
reprisal
is the
or
southeasterners in Uromi that did that. How? Where? Uromi, Edo
When
State.
do you-
You infused tribe into it. So it now felt like, I don't even understand. And the question is, you have the DSS monitoring these people's accounts daily.
And if somebody was all in insult
And it
as the
starts from
president, they will
social
have been
media. It
trapped.
starts from propaganda. It starts from false information.
Esther, let
Misinformation
me
everywhere.
come in. Do you know? Look at this is a state thing. It happens in what state?
Edo State.
Edo State.
Yes.
What is the concern of the northern governors talking about that? You get it, saying it and infusing. You get the tribalism there.
Is there people? They're from the
But the
north.
government has already taken. The government has set up. The president has spoken. Why are the governors? But when the president has already spoken,
Well, it's
the
not just
president has
governors.
spoken,
I'm
and
talking
they are
about-
saying that means they are infusing hatred into
Yes.
their own people because the government is already saying
the
it.
northern influencers.
Yes.
And some current administrative persons involved.
Why?
I believe, they say a house divided against itself cannot stand.
Who is dividing the house against itself? The president in his house
now-
celebrating his birthday with his Salah homage. Everyone is there, and they're all eating
The
the merry.
politicians are there.
They're
Everybody is
merry.
there.
So why would the people get themselves involved in
I don't
things
know.
like this?
We are
Things that will literally get them
simply
backward.
tools in their hands. That's what we are. We are simply tools. They can use us anytime they want.
Don't say they can use us. No.
Is that not what they are doing?
No, listen. No, sir. Don't say they can
Those that
use
want
us.
to be used, they'll be used.
So certain people have decided to be used.
All right, let's take.
They have
reactions.
decided to be used.
Let's take
because
reactions.
this is just, I don't know, it is just so unreasonable. People were killed. Let us get to the root of this, but a lot of manipulation.
Exactly.
A lot of
Like I
twisting.
said, there needs to be a clampdown and a state of emergency in Nigeria on insecurity.
Now,
Because if this had not happened, people have been complaining, people have been lamenting, people have been suffering in the hands of these terrorists. And
And
we've not seen that
remember-
alacrity, that measure
From
meted
the
out
government.
as swift as their
And
response
this is
was
just 12.
in what happened.
I mean, how
to
many
you.
are they? Maybe
now,
12.
now,
No, they were
how many
27.
people, how
27,
many
where
people
we have
die
over 100.
in Benue State, die in Plateau State, die in the north?
Wait,
Niger
Benue is
State.
going through an
On a daily.
existential crisis, right? Like an existential
But
crisis.
it's not in the news. It is buried. Nobody's talking about it.
I know, we do.
Every life matters. It
All
is
right.
not too much to ask for the government to wake up.
Exactly.
That is the primary duty of the government.
What about the
Protecting
soldiers that
our
were
property.
killed? What about the
Let-
soldiers? What about the
let's-
soldiers that were
let's-
just killed like chicken
In your basic.
in Nigeria? Not outside Nigeria. Within Nigeria, they are just killed like chickens like that, and everything
Let's
looks
take
like
reactions,
well.
all right? It's time for us to take reactions because we have a program coming up very soon. The number to call is 080-3692-9933, 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
I cannot hear you. I always, I'm finding it very difficult to hear you, but let me just go ahead. And good evening to the guys in the studio.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
My name is Chike, calling from Apapa.
Welcome, Chike.
Yes, you see, what you said about, it's like almost like a jab to Wike or a threat by President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Wike, there's no guarantee that Wike will not stab Tinubu at the back at the dying minute. Let me tell you the reason why I say that. The opposition will win 2027 election because the power is too much for Tinubu to defeat. And Wike is looking at it as if these guys manage to win, they will put me in prison.
Ooh.
So he might just decided to collide with them and make sure that they bring Tinubu down. But he will do that very, very lately, maybe the day before the election.
Are you referring to Wike here?
And about the people causing problem, the hello, can you hear me?
Please go on.
Hello.
He's
Yeah.
not hearing us, but he's
About
just
the
going
people
ahead.
causing problem, the herdsmen and where politicians. The reason why they are doing that is because the government in power don't want to offend the northerners, so that anything they tell them, they will be able to, accept it. That is why you see something happening in the north, they will not comment, and
All right.
something happens to the south, they believe that the north are the only people who can make the election very easy for them to win.
Interesting. 08036929933, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello?
Yes, hello, good evening. What's your name?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your name, please?
All right. Good evening, gentlemen in the studio.
Yes, good
Good
evening.
evening, sir.
Yeah, my name is Chinon, so... Hello, can you hear me?
Chinonso, please go ahead. You don't have time. Chinonso, where's your
All right.
location?
Okay, I'm Chinon, I'm calling from Abia State.
All right. Abia State.
Yes. Abia
Wow,
precisely.
amazing. All right, go ahead, please.
All right, please, I want to ask the gentleman in the studio with you there. I want to ask a question. My brother called me some weeks ago that their barracks, their base, their barracks over there in Maiduguri, in Borno State, was overrun by terrorists.
Hey.
And his fellow comrades were massacred. They were taken unaware and they were massacred. Most of our Easterners that were there were massacred like soldiers, but it was just swept under the carpet. Now, Fulani herdsmen that were caught with rifle, those blood-sucking demons were caught in those states, and they were killed because if they should be handed over, that one would be the end of that matter. So they were killed. Now the all hair has been let loose because of those 12 people that were killed. Out of how many soldiers that were killed that very day that they overran their base in Maiduguri? That one, nobody has even talking about that one. What about the killings in Kaduna, in Benue, in Plateau?
Even in Jos, very recent.
All these ones are being swept under the carpet. You see, something is fishy about Nigeria. Please, they should do something very serious and
Oh, wow. That call has gone. So sorry. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? Hello, you're live. What's your name, please? Hello? I can't hear him. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you clear.
All right, thank you very much. What's your name, please?
My name is Afunwa Adama.
All right, Afunwa, please go ahead.
See, the problem in Nigeria, now this politician knows our problems. And if all these problems we would have for this country, with all these politicians say, this is enough, my brother, everything will die in 50 seconds. You see, all this killing for naught. You didn't know how many people they are killing for naught every day. Okay, look at it. The time when they arrested armored tank for military armored tank, destroy everything, kill the soldiers, destroy the armored tank, come and do anything about it. When you stay and look about what is happening for Nigeria, you will know that all the whole government from president to the councillor, they know about it. But they don't want to tell us the truth. They just drive us like a trailer when no get break. Drive us go like this. Let us come out and tell us truth. What is happening?
All right, thank you, Afunwa.
Every day, killing.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Yes, good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello.
I can hear you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Chukuma. I'm calling you from Pestac Town.
All right, Mr. Chukuma, please go ahead.
Please, I want to say something.
Okay.
Is there anything wrong with our government? What is the matter with this government? What is really wrong with these people? Does it mean they doesn't think? Does it mean that human life, they don't value human life? What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with them? Some soldiers are killed. Sometime last month.
Yes.
3 soldiers was executed.
No, it was not last month, though. It was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Last week,
yes.
3 soldiers, 3 able men was executed. Nothing happened. They said nothing. They didn't investigate anything. Now, these terrorists, this Maluda, these wicked people caught red-handed with arms. And we are killed, and they will all head is let loose. What is wrong with this country? What is wrong with these people? In fact, we are not safe in this country. There is no safe anywhere. We are not safe with this kind of government. We are not safe with this kind of people. They just think themselves alone. They just think about themselves alone.
Thank you very much.
What is really wrong with these people?
Thank you.
It's time we take over this country.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Elections. That's basically when you can actually have your voice be heard. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? All right, we've lost that call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah.
Hello? Kindly turn down your radio. Step away from it completely, please. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but... okay.
What you have to know is...
what's your name?
You and I know that...
What is your name? What is your name?
Okay, my name is Matthew. I'm calling from Agbadejai.
All right, sir. Go ahead.
There is one thing I want you to know, BOP. You and I know what is going on in this country. Like I was listening to the day you are dragging with Barisano Sike. You know what is going on. I know that you are doing your work, but you don't want to be sincerely you. Yes, you know.
Which day was that, please? Is it 12 o'clock
you know
news?
What is going on in this country?
It's Choma that does 12 o'clock news most times, so you guys.
Those people that are killing people in Nota, before you get to that, see, they will give you condition that you will not tackle my people. Have you ever seen where the bread will be the beef Fulani to come and execute them in the courts? Have you ever seen them? Excuse, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. We're hearing. I can hear the anger in your voice. Yes.
To one court like that. You and I know what is going on in this country. Forget about no one is going to talk the truth. Even though you that work in the way you say the truth, they will go after you. So forget about everybody knows the truth. Everybody knows the truth. This country is a zoo. It's what is called zoo country.
Oh no. I beg, don't call
law and order in zoo. Even in the normal zoo, there's law and order.
Please, I beg you guys, please don't make outrageous statements on air. I beg you in the name of God. Please, it's very, very vital, okay? Hello, good evening. How are you? Hi. Kai, please turn down the volume of your radio when you call in, please, okay? Please. All right, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening. What's your name?
Yes, it's Chike from our party. You
Chike.
when I wanted to conclude my
Chike,
thought.
you're taking people's time now, please.
No. Yes, sir. You see, those guys that was killed by those vigilantes. They are.
Okay, Chike, you're not speaking fast. No vex, please. We need to take more calls, okay? 08036929933. Hello, good evening. Good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. What's your name, please? Hello. This line is very poor. Kindly call back. Connection is very poor. 08036929933. That's the number. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Esther Wanchuku, how are you?
I am fine, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
What's your name, sir?
Esther. My name is Bates from Egbeda.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Esther.
Sir?
Yeah, what I'm telling you, stop pretending. I know that you are doing your job. You know what is happening in Nigeria. You are pretending because you say you are preventing your job so that this and that will not happen.
What did I pretend? What did I say now? What did I talk?
Because people will be saying, you pretend that you don't know what is going on, you don't know what is happening.
People are saying, but what did I say now that is pretentious now?
You are living in saying you pretend is.
Hello?
Man, prosecute court, Nigerian court, none. Esther, these people are killing people. They don't want to do anything. If it is an agreement, so they want to wipe out the whole Nigeria, so Fulani can take over Nigeria. So is that what they want? We don't have any government. And he said that the worst civilian regime is better than military regime. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Sir, we're hearing you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. Now the military regime is better than this civilian regime. We are not practicing democracy. I'm telling you the truth. Why are they killing people all over the Fulani people? Okay, from northern Nigeria, they are going to southern Nigeria to go and hunt. Why? With guns. Do you know how many checking points they passed through? They went to Edo State, and police did not stop them. Say that it's another tribe now. You see police, before they will go one port, the police will stop them and search them. So you people are with guns, this and that. Esther.
So I said all of
police
this
will
now.
See you with ordinary,
is that not what I was asking my guests?
Ordinary dagger. Ordinary dagger. They will ask you question. Talk less of carrying gun. If it is another tribe,
they
will
very
ask
much.
you, why are you carrying gun?
Thank you.
Esther, we are angry. We are not happy in this Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth.
I know. Trust me, I know. And I'm not protecting anybody. I think I asked you guys that question, right? I asked you that very question. All the checkpoints they passed, they allow them to pass. So there is something. States. Yes, exactly. All right. I would like to take this call lastly and then read a few messages. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello, good evening. How are you? All right. I can't hear this person. Let me read out some messages. Bam Bam in the studio. Wow, Esther, help me give my one bottle of wine or Peace Center. All right. Okay. Well done. Good evening, Esther, and your guests. I'm surprised that even the analysts and the hosts are not asking yourselves if Wike was in that meeting yesterday. Secondly, if he wasn't, and why and how come Wike was in the meeting? The video everywhere. It's all over the place. The fear of losing 2027 election will surely destroy this country. The North will keep killing the Southerners. Nobody will be brought to book. And when a Northerner is killed for any wrong, the South will go after that person. What a fear of shame and cowardice of the South. This is evil and unacceptable. Chinedu from Badagry. All right, Chinedu, well done. This person says, Esther, good evening. Thank you very much. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. The problem between Wike and Governor Fubara is that the former is demanding for 6 billion naira from the state's monthly allocation, and the latter refused. Mr. Rufi Ojo from Lagos. Good evening, Esther. Good evening. Thank you very much. Good evening, Esther and the guests. I think the other man didn't know what he was saying by saying Tinubu isn't involved in the chaos in Rivers State. Nigeria's political system is whack and monetized. Tinubu brought us renewed suffering instead of hope. Truly, democracy is totally collapsed in Nigeria, as said by Obasanjo and others, because in a nation with no separation of powers, rules of law, check and balance, and strong institutions, it was very shameful for the man that called himself the father of democracy, now fighting against democracy by overriding constitution. The country is seated on a keg of gunpowder with the kind of rulers we have at the helm of affairs. The question is there any hope for this country? From Senator always, I believe there's hope. For us to be having this conversation, I always believe that there is hope. Good evening, Esther and the guest. My question is to the man from Ejigbo. What is the local government authority doing to stop the evening road market that is happening at Jakonde Gate that is causing big traffic every evening? Concerning what is going on in rivers and over the country, it's all about politics, Mr. Egbe from Ejigbo. All right. Good evening, Esther and our guest. With the insincerity going on in this country, why will a group of people patrol around people's farms, bushes, and backyards with guns, machetes, in the name of being hunters, with the level of attacks and killing of farmers by Fulani headsmen? Imagine if it's the southerners that were caught with guns in the north, with guns claiming hunters. Anyway, I'm still waiting to see northerners selling bush meat in the market. Anyone that knows where they sell the meat should let me know. All right, let me go to YouTube right about now. Good evening to you too. Akinlabi Olushola, good evening. Ademola Owoduni, all Nigerian sectors from top to bottom are not honest already for themselves on independence. Kenechi Anike, good evening, Esther in the house. No red mouth today. Simon Bible TV, that could be true. That made him to... Oh, no, I'm not reading. Oh, God, talk of your election. Tolson, Bam Bam Bigalo in the studio. Wow, Esther heard him. He must do giveaway for boys. Don't let him go. Isosia Domitaye, thank you very much for your compliment. We need to wrap up now. Mr. Lawa Ekundaya, please, what do you have to say? I'm so sorry, we couldn't take a lot of the messages. In a few seconds, please.
When there's life, there's hope. You get it? So there's hope in Nigeria. What we need to do is just galvanize our hopes together. You get it? And move forward. Just like the Israelites, we'll get to the promised land
at some
eventually.
Point.
Yeah.
Mr. Damilare, very few seconds, please.
Well, I guess all we have is hope. That's all I can say. Because it's really not looking good at the moment, but all we have is hope.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap on the Political Spotlight today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Esther Wachiku, and see you next week Sunday. Bye for now.